Welcome to the Super User Kickoff. Superheroes, do they really exist? Have you ever thought that you might possess superhero powers? Or do you know someone who does? Well, we're going to learn what we need here at Cox Health for our superhero strengths to be in order to help us move into the future. I'm Debra James, and I will be the facilitator of the Super User Project team. Just to tell you a little bit about myself before we get started, is I have been with Cox Health for over 10 years. Most recently, I've been a part of the Cerner SI3 team here at Cox Health. Prior to that, I spent 8 years on the Cerner team for Cox Health. My role is primarily to work with clinicians and physicians on workflow and implementations of new projects. Today, our challenge is to develop a super user project team that can drive us into the future to help support our end users as we embrace change. What is key to success for our super users? Well, the primary mission of the super user is to be the frontline support for our end user staff. Each nursing unit should have 1 to 2 super users identified by their nurse managers to provide them enough support for 24 hours. Someone on that unit that is the go-to person and is able to take change, education, and implementations to your nursing unit. Our project goals is to provide a smoother workflow for documentation. Part of those goals are specifically to enhance change management, monitor effectiveness of the super user model for success, analyze workflow, evaluate ease of use of the electronic documentation record, and critique and provide feedback from our end users to the Cerner team. What are some of the super user skills characteristics needed? Well, let's talk about that as a group. What are some of the key characteristics that you feel like the super users on your unit should possess? Let's just jot a few of those down. Yes. Power. Very good. What's another key characteristic? Strength. Similar to power, but strength. A rescuer. Okay. Someone that rescues us from situations. Problem solver. How about one more? One more characteristic of a super user. Reliable. Okay, I think that gives us 5 really good characteristics that we would want to look for in our super users for our units. What will the role of this super user be? Well, one of the main roles will be for them to attend and participate in all super user meetings. They will also be involved in piloting changes for the ease of workflow, evaluating the effectiveness of education and training, instruct on changes in system fixes, excuse me, communicating system changes, and communicate user requests, the schedule. The goal is for you as nurse managers to complete your interviews for your super users by March 15th. At that point, they will be scheduled to attend the first super user meeting that will be held on April 1st. These meetings will be held monthly thereafter, and a set schedule will be provided to them so that staffing considerations can be made in order for them to participate in this group. Remember, this super user project team is a collaboration between nursing administration and the facilitator and Cox Health. Goals and strategic plans to help with the implementation of one electronic medical record. The training module that we will use will be a 3-tiered model. It will start with our core traditional classroom-based education that will be provided by Educational Services. Our secondary tier will be relevant job-related education provided by our clinical educators. And our third tier will be our just-in-time education that will be provided by our super users identified for this super user project team. Now that we have identified the goals of the super user project team, your challenge is to go out and find those superheroes on your unit that have the characteristics that we've identified of power, strength, rescuer, problem solver, reliable, that can lead us into the future. Are there any questions about the schedule? Any questions about next steps? Okay, great. I look forward to establishing the super user project team with you. Thank you very much for your attendance this morning.